What's up, Skyhook Ninjas? Coach Brandon here, and we're back with another episode of Skyhook Ninja Fitness Homeschool. Today, we're going to be showing you all the skills that are necessary for my orange belt, my level 3 ninjas, to get their parkour tape. Starting with our more complex, complicated vaults. There's 3 new ones you need to know, and I need a new piece of equipment to show you. All right, ninjas. So, we have 3 new vaults that you ninjas will need to know in order to earn your orange belt parkour tape. We had the reverse vault, the lazy vault, and the speed vault. And we're gonna learn them in that order, starting with the reverse vault. It's based on the chest vault that you already know. Putting your hands down, jumping your legs over behind you. Now, big change here is that in that motion, we're going to try to spin around in a whole circle, full 360, and that's what changes your chest vault into a reverse vault. And in order to do this, one of the big things that helps is taking the far hand, the one that's on the opposite side of the vault, spinning it around towards yourself. And if you're uncomfortable at first, we can just sit our bottoms down, roll those legs over, come out the other side. As we get more comfortable with that motion, we can start to put more of the weight on our hands, try to jump a little more. Maybe we don't finish the full rotation, but as we get more comfortable, we'll start to go all the way around. That's your reverse vault. Now let's talk about the lazy vault. In the lazy vault, we have one hand that starts. One leg starts to swing over. The other leg is pushing off the ground and then following up behind. So it starts off swinging that leg over. As both legs travel over, the other hand, the one that hasn't been used yet, push up on the other side. Looks like this. Lazy vault. Very important part of a lazy vault is that we need to keep our hands close to our hips. If our hips get really far away from our hands, it's hard to stay stable. So keep the hips close to the hands right there. Lazy vaults. And if we have a hard time doing this at first, we can progress into it by swinging one leg over, getting the other leg over, both hands pushing out, and slowly increasing the speed of that motion. Until we're getting comfortable enough to support the weight on both hands without putting our bottom down. And finally, we're going to have the speed vault. But the speed vault is very similar to the step vault. We're going to talk about how to take your step vault and make it fast, turn that into a speed vault. So normally, when we do a step vault, at first we learn it sort of slow. One hand, opposite foot, and stepping through. And there's nothing wrong with that step vault. But we can take that and make it a little faster by jumping up to our hand and foot. And as that hand and foot lands, the one leg that should be reaching through is already tucking up into the air. Once again. Hand is already tucking up into the air. Leg is already tucking up. And notice this quick foot tap on the outside of the vault. Just push me through. To take this step vault and turn it into a speed vault, instead of stepping on, we're going to imagine like we're kicking the air, like there's something there, and then quickly snapping that takeoff leg up and over to be our landing leg as well. Using that hand as a balance to push us back onto our foot. Make sure you jump up, drive that knee into the air, takeoff leg, picks up, plant your hand, takeoff leg is then your landing leg. Do this for speed. And that's your speed vault ninjas. So those are all the different vaulting techniques you need to know. And I'll give you a couple ways you can practice all of those on the ground. So let's get rid of this vault really quick. Awesome, now that we have that vault out of the way, we're gonna talk about a handful of motions that you can practice in your own home if you have enough space to freely move around. And these are going to be shape drills. We're drilling the shape of the vault, which is both going to help you understand the motion and help your body become strong in that motion, develop your muscles as well. So first, with that reverse vault, we're going to be starting just like we practiced before in our chest vault, with those feet hopping over. Now, we're going to practice turning that hand around and trying to turn our body as well. We can start by rolling across the ground on our bottom, getting back to our feet, and then as we become more strong or capable, once again, supporting our body with those hands. Once again, twin in both directions. Now, lazy vaults. For lazy vaults, we're going to start in a tabletop pose. We can have something here in the middle for our feet to jump over. So we're going to start with our weight supported on one foot. Swing our legs over, jump this foot off the ground, catch our body with this other leg. So swing over, catch. Swing over, jump and catch. Swing over, jump and catch. As you become more comfortable, you can put those hands a little closer together behind you to help feel what it'd be like to jump those legs over a real vault. Feeling of supporting your body on your arms as your legs swing over in front of you. And finally, for the speed vault, what we're going to be doing is practicing moving forward on one hand at a time in a kind of monkey gorilla motion. So, you're going to reach forward with one hand. The takeoff leg is going to be your landing leg. Boom. Reach forward with the other hand. Boom. And moving like this across the floor. So once again, hand, takeoff leg is the same as the landing leg. Right hand goes out, right foot landing. Left hand goes out, left foot landing. These are techniques you can use anywhere to become more proficient and strong in those vaulting techniques. Now let's talk a little bit about your two-step wall run. All right, now that we're here in front of the parkour walls, we can talk about that two-step wall run. Now at first, you might feel like this technique is inferior to the one-step wall run you've already been training, but it's only because you haven't become practiced in this two-step wall run technique. When you practice enough, when you develop the skill, you will always be able to reach higher walls with 2 feet as opposed to 1 foot. So for that two-step wall run, one of the most important things is to keep your legs moving. One thing that I see a lot of ninjas do as they approach the wall is come in with just 1 foot, and that other leg does nothing. It's gone nowhere, it's just hanging out in free space. If we want to be able to get that two-step wall run, not only do we push the first foot into the wall, but the one that took off the ground has to drive up with us so that it's in front of the wall for the second tack. Because remember, where does our foot have to be for that tack to be successful? It should be up in front of our body, about as high as our belly, or a little bit lower than our waist, somewhere around this area. So if your foot's down here, it's just not going to cut it. So, practicing going up and getting that other knee. At first you can just use it to push away from the wall, but then as you get more comfortable, trying to use that to get higher and higher, because you will always be able to get higher walls with 2 steps as opposed to 1. Right there. If you noticed right there, that also set me up perfectly for my cat grab, having my other foot in front of me. Instead of hanging up in this dangling hang, I have my foot ready in front of me for the climb that's going to follow. Now, a great way to practice this technique is with something that's about your own waist height, something about as high as one of our regular vaults. Let's get one. Awesome. Now, with something about your own waist height, you can practice tacking into a crane step. Push the foot into the obstacle. The other knee is going to drive up into the air and put itself on top of that vault, just like this. Practicing with both legs. And this is the same kind of motion and shape that you would need to perform a successful two-step wall run. Now moving on from there, we have a couple of different precision-based challenges. Some more difficult strides and also 180 precisions. Let's take a look at those. All right, now we're here and I have a stride set up behind me. So as a level 3 ninja, you're going to have to be able to handle strides of increasing height and then taking the speed and power of that stride and moving into a precision landing on the other side. So you already know that you have to stride at least 3 feet apart. Now we're going to take those strides and lift them up. Make sure we emphasize the drive of that knee, lifting your body up, and then especially here, jumping with all your power. Both arms swinging into that jump, knee driving into the air, and a precision landing on that obstacle. So with speed, step, 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 jump. Make sure you don't pause at that last jump. I know that the jump at the other side can be a little intimidating, but what helps make it easier is the fact that you have all this speed, and then stopping here to pause is taking all that speed and power away. A quick little tip, little reminder for all my ninjas out there who might be scared of a jump. Your eyes are a lot farther away from the ground than your feet. So if we crouch down, look from our feet level, we can tell how big that jump actually is. And maybe we can actually commit to that jump. So get down on that level, look over at that jump, and try to help that mental game, because that's a huge part of your work as a level 3 ninja. It's increasing that mental discipline. There's another precision technique that you need to know, and that's the 180 precision, half turn precision. Let's get a couple precision trainers right here. Awesome. So with these 180 jumps, what's going to be the weirdest part is having to land on something that you can't see yet. So what you need to do first is actually turn and look at where you're going to jump. So you're going to start with those 2 feet on the obstacle. Turn your head, look to where you're going to jump, and then you're going to have to swing your arms, turn your body towards that jump. So turn, look, swing, move your feet, and you have a 180 precision jump. Once again, feet planted, arms in place, looking behind me, swing, turn, and jump. Now, you might not have access to something like this, so just try to practice jumping from one spot on the other to the ground to work on that 180 precision jump. All right, ninjas. So the last technique that we're going to cover today in our Orange Belt Parkour curriculum is going to be the 1 foot wall tack to precision landing. So we're gonna need to change locations for this one again. Let's go. All right, ninjas. So the last technique that we have here for you is going to be the wall tack into a precision landing. At first, I recommend trying this from any wall to a just spot on the ground first. Don't put the pressure on yourself to land on a solid obstacle. We can just tack off the wall. Try to bring our feet to the ground. That's one of the most difficult parts, is trying to make sure you bring those feet together, but it's super important for the safety of your landing, bringing those feet together. If you just reach to the ground with one leg and it's a really big landing, you could hurt that ankle. We'd hate to have that. We don't want to see any of you ninjas injured. But the biggest thing that you're going to want to do in order to increase your distance is as you push that foot into the wall, reach up and out with your arms, turning your chest and driving your knee that direction that you want to go. So you want to go a little bit farther. Jumping out with a little more power, driving those knees into the air. Once again, landing with precision. And then once you feel pretty comfortable landing on things that are just lines on the ground, we can increase that to actual solid obstacles. All right, now we have a couple of solid obstacles to land on. Make sure you bring those legs together, stick those feet out of the landing, all those same techniques you already know about your precision landings. And that right there, ninjas, is your level 3 orange belt parkour curriculum. Now remember, if you have any questions about the techniques you saw demonstrated in this video, please leave those questions down in the comment section below. And then let me know, how far can you jump now? I asked you last video to set yourself a challenge. Do you know how far you can jump at this moment? If you don't, measure that. How will you know if you've improved if you don't measure where you are right now? All right, with that, we're gonna finish off. Hands in the middle. Skyhook Ninjas on 3. 1, 2, 3. Skyhook Ninjas!